How to water the garden. This is our watering schedule. And between these given times, you have 5 minutes per row to water your garden from the tank. How to water on these days.
First, take the grate off. Be careful, it's really heavy. Next, you need to grab the little door right there and put it in the other tunnel so it blocks the water and the water will start to go toward the garden. You then set the grate back on and make sure nobody steps in it. Okay, next you have to come behind the shed here. So come through the by the garage. Behind this little shed, there's another grate that you have to lift up and move another little door. This grate's not quite so heavy. So pick that door up. You can kind of set it aside, and then the water will start filling the pond. You have to make sure to close that grate again so nobody falls in. Okay, the water will be coming in the pond and come out the little stream here and start filling the rows there. Make sure the chickens stay in their pen. You might have to chase them in. Make sure they stay in there. Don't let them out through one of the doors while you are coming in.
What we want to do is make sure that the first couple of rows are all the way flooded. Like, for example, this row is good, how it's completely flooded, and once it's completely flooded you can block it up and go to the next one. But we want to make sure that, especially at the front, that everything is actually getting watered. So obviously here we'll have to do some work so that these first ones actually get watered, and same thing up here. But so once you do the first 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 4, then go on to the next set. And the way we do the water is you just, you want to block the stream just barely before it, and it will push water down the stream like that. And then just block it back up. Most of them will try to get so that, so this is deeper right here, so it doesn't actually flow in when you take out the rock. So that's something we'll work on. That'll be over time. So.
Toby, they have that so it'll go down the road. Isn't that neat, the way it goes through the bricks? Yeah. That's a pretty neat way to do it, isn't it? What, help your mommy pull the weeds? And then you can have...
If it gets clogged up with debris, there's a pump right there. If it gets clogged up, you just need to clean it out. It's been rigged up with the rake so that it stays not on the bottom of the tank. And this is to make sure that the water can come through the pipe, right?
Yeah, some pumps are self-priming, which means
They fill
that you have
themselves.
that, it'll suck enough, it has enough draw that it'll prime itself. This one doesn't, so this is my brother-in-law's from Salt Lake, but so we have to prime it. So generally have it, and then let's prime in the pump here. What we're doing is basically just filling the pipe all the way down to that.
Just making sure there's no air, right?
Right. Yeah, I think we're.
If it's not pumping, it might be because there's air in that, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Okay, so the pump is working. It's coming up through. This means that they're on. Making sure that that's off. It goes up, and you only.
When the tank gets filled about to that patch, that's about when it's about as high as it's going to get, because there's a hole in the tank where the patch is. So let it get filled to there a little bit further, and then you're going to want to...
Some of these ones out here are turned on.
Then you need to first turn on the valves on 4 rows at a time in the garden. So turn the valve this way, that means it's open so the water is going toward the garden. You need to turn this valve so it's closed going toward the tank. Make sure this valve stays open so water can come from the pond down into the garden. When you're ready to finish, unplug the pump. Then you need to make sure that don't make sure that the plug's not in the water, and close the pipe going to turn the nozzle or turn the handle that goes to the pond so it's closed. Then you need to make sure you turn off all of the pipes in the garden before you open the nozzle that goes from the tank to the garden, so all the water doesn't leak out of the tank. So turn this handle right here so it's open. The valve is open going from the tank to the garden. To take the rake out of the pond so it doesn't rust. Go to the street and pick up the grate again. Then you're going to move the little door in the tunnel so it's blocking the water going to the garden. Make sure to get it in straight so it's easy to pull out next time. Make sure to return the grate on top of the little water place there. It's heavy, watch out. Done, make sure to gather up the cord and hang it on the fence so it doesn't get run over by the lawnmower. Then when you're in charge of starting the water, you'll just need to make sure that you get it off of the fence and plug it in and flip the left switch. This is where you plug it in. And then make sure to flip the left switch at the other end of the garage by the door. That's the on switch. Go to the second little door behind the shed and make sure to put it back in. So it blocks the water so it doesn't come out of the pond. Make sure it's in all the way. Then replace the grate. Don't fall over. You'll get a wet bum. Make sure to latch the gate when you're done. This is the back gate. There's a little nail on this wooden post where you latch it at.
Right here. If it gets clogged up, you'll just need to clean it up. And again, that's just right from the pond. There's a fence right here. And if it gets clogged up, just clean it out.
And that will, well, yeah, in the sun in the dead of the summer, we'll be here so we can do it too, but this will get clogged. The little holes there, about 1/16 of an inch, they'll get clogged up with algae. So we typically just have that covered during the summer so the algae doesn't grow as quick. But if you find that the heads out here, if you're irrigating with the pump rather than flood, you can, and the little nozzles are just spurting, maybe two, or you notice it getting lower and lower if you're doing 4 or 5 beds at a time. It's because those heads, or because the filter's clogged with algae. So just come over and bypass everything, run it into the tank, take that off, swish it out, clean it out, and put it back on, and then turn your valves back where you want it.